You don't own this gate, she snapped, standing 3 feet inside my property line, one manicured finger aimed at the wrought iron gate my grandfather had hammered out over 2 Michigan winters. This gate, this fence, this whole eyesore is coming down. I let the screen door ease shut behind me and walked down the gravel path with my coffee still in hand. The morning was already warm, the kind of July morning where the air smells like cut grass and hot pine needles. Morning, ma'am, I said, stopping on my side of the bars. You're on private property. Margaret Hensley, president of Willow Ridge Estates Homeowners Association, didn't flinch. She was maybe 55, navy blazer despite the heat, hair sprayed into perfect submission. Behind her stood 2 board members in matching polo shirts, clipboards ready like they were IRS agents. I'm aware of where I'm standing, Mr. Whitaker, she said, reading my name off the violation notice like she'd practiced it. And I'm here to inform you that this property falls under Willow Ridge covenants. Your oak is in violation of setback rules, that gate is non-compliant with architectural standards, and you are 3 years delinquent on assessments. That's $4,200 plus late fees. I took a slow sip of coffee. You've got the wrong address, Margaret. My deed was recorded in '63. Your association wasn't even a gleam in a developer's eye until 2005. County plat map says your jurisdiction stops 50 meters east of where you're standing right now. She gave me the thin, pitying smile people use when they think you're slow. Everyone says that at first. Then they pay. Then they comply. She slid the notice through the bars. You have 14 days to remove that rust bucket and paint it desert sand beige like the rest of the community, or the fine start at $150 a day. I took the paper, folded it once, and tucked it in my shirt pocket. I'll be sure to frame this next to my grandfather's deed. One of the polo shirts, a nervous-looking man with a mustache that didn't quite commit, cleared his throat. Ma'am, maybe we should verify the plat. Margaret cut him off without turning around. We verified. The attorney verified. The board verified. Mr. Whitaker is going to verify when the fines hit his bank account. I looked her dead in the eye. You step 1 more foot past that gate without my permission, and you'll be verifying things with a sheriff's deputy. Have a nice day. I turned and walked back to the house. Behind me I heard her say, loud enough to carry. Some people have to learn the hard way. They taught me, all right. A week later, I was up at 2:30 in the morning because the motion sensor chimed. The new offline camera caught a figure in a black hoodie shaking a can of red spray paint. Pay up or leave dripped down the gate like blood. I saved the file, scraped a paint sample, and went back to bed. Some things you let simmer. 3 nights after that, an official-looking letter arrived on county letterhead. Immediate removal required. Gate violates Building Code 47B. I called the county the next morning. Mr. Whitaker, the clerk said after she pulled my file, we have 0 record of any violation on your address. That letter didn't come from us. You've got a forgery on your hands. That's a felony. Appreciate it, ma'am, I said. Mind emailing me that statement? Already sent. I printed it, 3-hole punched it, and slid it into the growing folder. The final exam came on a Friday at 1:37 a.m. The camera in the oak caught everything in crisp 4K. Dark SUV, plates covered with blue painter's tape. 2 figures. One with bolt cutters, one holding a phone flashlight. The second figure moved like someone used to giving orders. Margaret Hensley. The bolt cutters made a sound I'll never forget. Sharp, final, like breaking a bone. They shoved the gate open and started photographing my house, my studio windows, the dark shapes of my life. I hit every floodlight I owned and stepped onto the porch. Evening, Margaret. I called, calm as Sunday dinner. You're on camera. Deputies are 4 minutes out. The phone flashlight spun toward me. For one clear second the light caught her face. Eyes wide, mouth open. Then she ran. She hit the gravel wrong, went down hard, and something sparkled across the stones. They peeled out, gravel peppering the cedars like gunfire. I walked the path slow, still recording on my phone. Picked up what she dropped, a single strand of pearls with a gold clasp engraved MH. HOA president. I bagged it like evidence because that's exactly what it was. The deputies arrived with coffee breath and tired eyes. Deputy Alvarez watched the video 3 times, zooming in on Margaret's face when the lights hit her. Well, Mr. Whitaker, he said, almost smiling. That's about as clear as it gets. You want to press charges? Every single one, I said. 2 days later Rebecca Nolan called me. She lived 4 streets over, worked as the development's accountant. Voice shaking but steady. James, I've got board meeting recordings. Margaret said, and I quote, his paperwork doesn't matter. We make the rules here. He'll learn. I'll testify if you can keep my name quiet until it's safe. Rebecca, you just became the most important witness in the county. For weeks later my attorney, Ellen Ramsey, filed in circuit court, James Whitaker v. Margaret Hensley and Willow Ridge Estates HOA. We asked for $75,000 and every charge the prosecutor would take. The morning of the hearing, the courtroom smelled like lemon oil and tension. Judge Evelyn Carter was 60-something, silver hair pulled tight, eyes that had heard every excuse in the book. Ellen laid the 1963 deed and the certified 2005 plat map side by side. Your Honor, she said, the defendant's own recorded boundary stops 50 meters short of my client's gate. They have never had jurisdiction. Judge Carter barely glanced up. I can read a map. Proceed to the criminal allegations. We dimmed the lights and rolled the footage. First clip, red paint dripping down iron. Second clip, bolt cutters snapping granddad's brass lock. Third clip, Margaret Hensley frozen in floodlights, mouth open like she'd seen a ghost. Ellen set the pearl necklace on the evidence table in its little plastic bag. Dropped by the defendant while fleeing the scene, she said. Margaret's attorney, a man whose tie was losing the fight with his neck, stood up. Your Honor, my client believed she was conducting a legitimate inspection. Judge Carter removed her glasses. Counselor, your client cut a lock and entered private property at 1:30 in the morning. That's not an inspection. That's breaking and entering. Sit down. Rebecca testified next, voice trembling but clear, and played the recording. Margaret's voice, cold and certain. He thinks a piece of paper from 1963 beats us? We'll show him who owns this neighborhood. 15 minutes in chambers. When Judge Carter came back, her face could have frozen coffee. Guilty on all counts. Defendant Hensley will pay $75,000 in damages, resign immediately as HOA president, and is barred from holding any fiduciary position in any homeowners association for 10 years. The forgery charge is referred to the district attorney for felony prosecution. Court's adjourned. The gavel hit the bench like the closing of a very heavy door. Margaret didn't look at me when she left. She just stared at the floor while her attorney guided her out like a woman walking to her own funeral. 2 months later, she took the plea. 6 months suspended, $10,000 fine, 200 hours picking up trash along the county roads in an orange vest. 17 families filed to de-annex from the HOA the same week. Rebecca was elected interim president and mailed every resident who'd been wrongly fined a full refund, $23,000 total. My check came on a Tuesday. I took it straight to a blacksmith in Traverse City and had him pour a new brass lock from the exact alloy Granddad used in 1963. I repainted the gate myself, same flat black, same careful letters, private property, established 1963. Every morning, I still stand there with my coffee. The new lock turned smooth as the day it was born. The cedars still whisper when the wind moves through them. And the gate still stands exactly where Henry Whitaker put it, long before anyone decided beige was a personality. Some things you don't buy. Some things you don't vote on. Some things you just keep. Now I want to hear from you. When someone with a clipboard and a title tries to take what's yours, do you stay calm and bury them in evidence like I did? Or are there times when a louder, faster fight is the only thing they'll respect? Tell me where you draw the line between patience and pushback. I read every comment.